I made a video earlier this month showing this press conference with Alexei Ovchin, showing this owl, supposedly his daughter's owl. He's planning to bring it to ISS. Of course, ISS does not exist. This is just 100% mockery by Freemasons. Let's take a look here. Another image of an owl aboard the supposed ISS. They show the phony baloney ball Earth and all these stuffed animals as well. Just taking a little bit of a closer look at that owl. There you go. Just taking a look at some images here. The White House, above the White House. You can see the owl symbolism above. It's a little bit of a cutout. Of course, it's on the dollar here, hidden as always in plain sight. The Bohemian Club in San Francisco and the Bohemian Grove just north of San Francisco. The National Press Club, and they have the owl symbolism as well.
I'll tell you a little secret, it's a secret. Government that worship an owl. They practice witchcraft to harness their power.
Let's take a look at this footage here. I'm going to break down the fake, phony, fraud show supposedly going to outer space. Break this down a bit. Let's take a look at the supposed launch of the Soyuz capsule aboard this rocket here.
And liftoff. Jeff Williams, Alexei Ovchin, and Oleg Skripochka launching to the International Space Station.
Should say, not saying they don't launch a rocket, but it does not go into space. Basically goes up, comes crashing back down into desolate areas, just like they do in Cape Canaveral, Florida. The rocket launches, they just go back into the ocean. Just like I've shown many times, these demonstration photos from Cape Canaveral with this supposed launch of the space shuttles, what it does is arch back down, basically go back into the ocean. That's all it does. They do not go into outer space. Deep space is a hoax. For those that don't understand what's taking place with the deception, Earth is supposedly orbiting the Sun at 66,600 miles an hour. And with supposed ISS and the supposed satellites in the vacuum of space, not contained in Earth's atmosphere, how is it possible that they continue to travel along with Earth as it rotates around the Sun? It makes absolutely no sense. Nothing about science, nothing about NASA adds up. But people do not ask questions. They just believe. Now, getting back to the supposed rocket launch, like I said, not saying it's a fake rocket launch, but definitely fake inside what's taking place here with the supposed people on board. Just take a look at this footage. Of course, you see the owl symbolism again. Just take a look and see where things do not add up.
See the crew on board. Again, Alexei Ovchin.
With all the G-forces, supposed G-forces, they have no problems raising their hands and arms, basically carrying out tasks. Now, I'm going to explain this a little bit.
They're in the center seat. Getting good reports of first stage functioning throughout the launch so
No
far.
issues moving around their arms, and their hands, and the paper.
60 seconds with powered flight. Your patient wrong. Nominal. Everything's nominal on board, boss.
So as we approach 1
Someone's probably in here twirling this little owl around. Give me a break.
minute and 10 seconds into the flight, the velocity of the vehicle already at about 1,100 miles per hour.
No problem moving his hands around. Not showing any G-force response. No resistance whatsoever. Just casually lifting up his hand
Continuing to go
with
well
no
with the
effect.
ascent.
Just holding up this tablet with no issues whatsoever.
Heat tower has been jettisoned, and those four strap-on boosters have also been jettisoned. They've completed their job and will now drop away. Soyuz already at an altitude of 28 statute miles, cruising along at a speed of about 3,350 miles per hour.
3,350 miles an hour. Give me a break. And no issues holding up this tablet while this is taking place.
Inaudible. Affirmative.
So the second stage now firing the core booster, continuing to push the vehicle
No
along.
resistance
Nominal.
to the G-force.
And then getting confirmation now the launch shroud has been jettisoned. So the Soyuz spacecraft itself now exposed, the rocket already at an altitude of about 48 statute miles.
Right here, look at this.
Just a little over 3
No
minutes
effect
into
from the
flight,
supposed
Soyuz
G-force.
already traveling at a speed of about 4,700 miles per hour. There we
You see him using his pen, writing on this paper.
You can see NASA astronaut Jeff Williams, this his third ride on the Soyuz spacecraft, getting ready for his fourth flight into space, his third long-duration mission on.
Again, I'm going to explain all this so it all makes sense. You should understand already what's taking place with this fakery. Now, just for comparison's sakes, let's take a look at this old ride at an amusement park called the Gravitron. They now changed the name. Goes by several different names now. Here's just another image of the same. It goes by the name of Starship 2000. There's also different names it goes by. Alien abduction, interesting enough. Let's take a look here, which I find very interesting. States here in Space Answers, the maximum G-force is about 3 Gs. Now let's compare it here, where the riders at top speed are basically experiencing 3 times the force of supposed gravity, which basically simulates the rocket launch, as you've seen with space shuttles and with the supposed launch of the Soyuz. Now let's take a look here at this one article when it comes to G-force, or not article, but on Wikipedia. Now let's look at the comparison again. Space shuttles maximum during launch and re-entry, and Gravitron amusement park ride. And you see how similar they are. Space shuttle is 3 Gs, and with Gravitron it's 2.5 to 3 Gs. And again, taking a look at this footage aboard the supposed rocket launch of the Soyuz to the ISS. Again, showing no effect from supposedly being aboard a rocket. Now let's take a look here. What happens to these people aboard the 0G ride called Gravitron? Take a look. Supposedly, again, same amount of G-force. Let's look at the difference. The ride's about to start. They're closing the door. Well, watch this. They're getting ready for the ride. Not starting yet. Now it's starting up. And look at this. And I'm not saying it's impossible to raise your hands. See, they have their knees up, but again, you can raise your feet a little bit, but there's a lot of force. You can see how they're being pulled back, and you see the movement above. So again, I'm not saying it's impossible to raise your hands, up, but it's very difficult. And the supposed people aboard the Soyuz show no effects of that supposed G-force. So again, as always, it's very hard to fake real. And these phonies, they're not very good at faking real at all.